Hi everyone! Today's video is a video hop celebrating Jess and Laura reaching 3,000 subscribers here on YouTube. We're all coming together to help them celebrate hitting this milestone, and we are all sharing some summer-themed projects. For my card today, I'm using this stamp set by Avery Elle. This one's called Tweet Tweet Tweet, and unfortunately it is discontinued, but I will try to link a couple of different options down below. So first, I've got my Misty. I'm going to stamp out all of the images from the set. I've got some scrap piece of Neenah Solar White. This is the 80-pound cardstock, and I am using Memento Tuxedo black ink because these both are Copic friendly, and I will color these in off screen. For this card, I'm creating a tunnel card, or at least I think that's what it's called. I've seen different descriptions, so we'll just kind of go with it. Anyway, I've got a piece of Bristol Smooth cardstock. I am inking up some Mermaid Lagoon. I'm using my life-changing blender brushes to ink up that panel. And then once I have that panel inked up, I will go ahead and let it dry. I decided to add some clouds after the fact, and I'm using this is an MFT stencil. I believe this one is called Mini Clouds. I'm taking some Hero Arts Unicorn Pigment ink, and I'm just creating some clouds, some soft clouds onto that panel. I dabbed most of that pigment ink off onto my glass mat, and then I'm just picking up a little bit at a time and ink blending the clouds onto that panel. Once I have that panel complete, I move on to the next panel that I'm creating. Again, I've got a piece of Bristol Smooth cardstock, and this time I'm ink blending Wild Honey onto that panel because I am creating a little bit of a sunshine in the background. Once I have that entire panel covered, I will go ahead and allow that panel to dry, and then spritz some water and blot that up with a paper towel. I do the same thing to the cloud panel that I created, adding a little bit of water and then picking it up with my paper towel. Here I'm gonna die cut this background panel using the largest stitched rectangle die from Fawn, and I just use a little bit of tape to secure that down. This is the die that I plan to use to create my little sunshine. This is a Starburst die by Avery Elle, and for one of the panels I'm pulling out this summer paper pad by Eco Park, and again I will use a large stitched rectangle die to die cut that. Now to start creating the tunnel version of this for the panels, I'm taking these dies. These are by Hero Arts. These are nesting circle dies, and I'm kind of lining them up in the center of the topmost panel. I'm using one of the larger dies for the top panel, and once I've secured that, I'll go ahead and die cut it, and then I will layer that panel on top of my second layer and use a smaller die from that same set to die cut the second panel. And then I'll secure that and die cut that panel out. Here I'm just kind of double checking that they are lined up. And then I take my card base, and my sun panel is going on top of that card base, but I kind of want to center it in the middle. So I've traced using a pencil, I've traced the outline of the bottom panel. And then I can just use some liquid adhesive and adhere that directly to the card base. And then I will put my panels back on top and double check. Now off screen, I did pop up both of those panels using some fun foam. And so once I have the sun in place, I can start adhering the second layer. And you see my very choppy handiwork there with my fun foam. And then I can just place that directly over that sun. And once I had that in place, I colored and die cut these branches of sorts. And then I just kind of want them on that second layer, so I go ahead and line them up where I think they're gonna go. And then I did pop up some of those on fun foam before I adhered them down in place. And then finally, for the last panel, which is popped up on fun foam as well, I just go ahead and adhere that with some liquid adhesive. Next, I'm taking this image of that tiki bird perch that's going on the topmost layer, and I've got that, at least the center of it, kind of popped up using some double foam so that it is nice and sturdy. Now at this point I realized I forgot to stamp my sentiment, so very carefully I inked up the sentiment from the stamp set, and I've stamped it down, and then I'm going to clear emboss the sentiment. I do go ahead and stamp out a couple of those singing notes, and before I stamped that image, I used my powder tool to remove any static, and then I used Versafine Onyx black ink and stamped down those images, and then I'm heat setting those with some clear embossing powder. Once I had that done, I start decorating the scene. And I've got some of those flowers from the stamp set that I've colored and die cut. I'm just adhering those randomly all over the place, kind of where I think it looks good. I did adhere some of those little leaves that were part of the set. And then I've got my 3 birds that I picked out of the 4 available, and I've got fun foam on some parts of the bird to kind of help and support them. And then I can just start and adhering those down. I'm just using liquid adhesive to help me put those in place. And then I will weight that down with an acrylic block and add that last bird in place. So while I adhere all those pieces down, I wanted to quickly mention the giveaway. In the beginning, there was a shot of all of our sponsors for this hop, and they have generously donated prizes. The way to win a prize is to leave a comment on the videos. and the more you comment, the greater your chances are to win a prize. For my channel, I am giving away a $20 gift certificate to scrapbook.com, which I will pick from one of the comments left on my video and have that winner announced on Jess and Laura's channels. All of that giveaway information is linked down below, as well as the next person in the hop. I want to thank you guys so much for hopping along and helping us to celebrate these two ladies reaching this milestone. Thank you so much for watching and commenting and liking all of our videos, and I will see you next time. Bye.